Warning, the following video will contain spoilers for The 100 as well as basically everything, really, so proceed with caution. So, a few weeks ago, me and my friend decided to begin watching The 100, which is a TV show, and we're only about 5 or 6 episodes into season 1, and we only started watching for a very specific reason. And that reason has now been shot. So let's talk about killing gay people. So the bury your gays trope began in the 1950s in America, when the censorship laws on portraying homosexual people in media were lifted. Slightly. You were allowed to show gay people, but you weren't allowed to condone being gay. The easiest way to do this was either to have your gay characters be sexually perverted, manipulative, disgusting people who want to, like, ruin the lives of the innocent heterosexual people. Or you can show them having miserable, horrific lives where they all die and nothing is ever happy, so then people will obviously not choose to be gay because it doesn't seem like a fun time. You definitely weren't allowed to give them a happy ending. You had to show that being gay led to death and sadness and never getting your happily ever after with your same gender partner. The AIDS crisis in the 1980s kind of added fuel to this fire, because here was concrete proof that the gay lifestyle led to dying and suffering. Whereas in reality, the vast majority of suffering and dying that happens amongst gay people stems from homophobia. Who knew, right? Despite this censorship law now having been completely lifted, so it's perfectly 100% legal to show gay people having fun and meeting the love of their lives and being happy and not dying, this trope has still kind of stuck around in most modern media. In fact, someone writing for The Guardian actually did the maths, and I have it on my laptop, so I'm gonna have to read the numbers from that. Within 19 years, 59 heterosexual characters died within Academy Award-winning films, and 13 LGBT characters died. This sounds like there's more straight people dying, but then you put it in percentages. So 16.5% of straight storylines end in death, whereas it's 56.5% of LGBT storylines. That's more than half! You are officially more likely to die if you're a LGBT character in a film than you are to survive. And while we have been moving forward, it's also important to note that the process seems to be moving especially slowly for women, because misogyny. There's Orphan Black, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Pretty Little Liars, Life is Strange, ER, Torchwood, True Blood, Arrow, and now The 100. Now, I'm not a woman, so I don't feel like I have much of a right to speak specifically about the dead lesbian trope. So I got some opinions from various people across Tumblr, and their names are in the description, and I've kind of collated it all into this. An open letter to writers of TV shows. Number 1. There aren't that many LGBT characters in TV to begin with, especially lesbians. So don't kill them off because we'd quite like for them to exist. Thanks. Number 2. It tells LGBT people that their lives and relationships will inevitably end in tragedy. Do you know how awful that is to hear? I mean, it really upsets me. It's mentally draining, and it will especially affect young kids who are still struggling with their identity when they're told that who they are inevitably leads to pain. Number 3. Young girls will never trust writers. If they're watching and their favourite character is like them and gay and in a relationship, they're just waiting for either that relationship to break up, or for them to die, or for something terrible to happen. Number 4, it doesn't provide LGBT characters with the same representation that straight characters get. It says that all LGBT characters are good for is to die to make straight people sad, as opposed to actually living and providing decent representation to gay people, which personally I think is more important, considering straight people can find whatever they want to watch literally anywhere on the world. Number 5, if you're doing it for shock value, it's not shocking. I was not surprised when I logged onto Tumblr yesterday and found out that the gay girl from The 100 had died. I was upset and angry, but I wasn't shocked. The most shocking thing you could do at this point, just hear me out, is to have an LGBT character in a same-gender relationship and it ends well, and they don't die. Revolutionary, I know. Number 6, even if you don't kill off an LGBT character, still make sure you treat them right. Don't show them as abusive or perverted or trying to demonize innocent straight people. Don't use their gayness as their sole identifier. Don't have them there strictly for representation purposes. Treat your characters right. Number 7, if you have to kill off an LGBT character because the actor has another commitment or anything like that, make sure that it's done well. Give them a respectful end. Have them dying in some blaze of glory or in the way that they always wanted or surrounded by loved ones. Not one stray bullet and immediately after they've reunited with the love of their life or had sex or anything like that. And I just realised I could literally be talking about Buffy because they're so similar. Number 8, I'm not saying never kill off LGBT characters, okay? Because that's just ridiculous, but make sure it's proportional to the amount of straight characters that die in your show. Because at this point, like, in Game of Thrones, everyone dies, everyone can die. An LGBT character dies in Game of Thrones, it's like, oh, it's okay, everyone dies in Game of Thrones, it's fine. But a surprisingly few amount of people die in Orphan Black. But guess who does? Delphine, the one who is not a straight. Make sure that in at least one form or another, one LGBT character gets a happy ending. Don't send the message to LGBT kids that things are never going to be okay. Because they will be. And that's what I want to end this video saying. Things will be okay. Even though you hardly see it on TV, gay people do find the love of their life. They do get married and live happily ever after and live long and prosperous lives. LGBT people can be happy. So that is it. I would like to say a very special thanks to these lovely people who contributed to this video, gave opinions and stuff. They are the best. If you have anything else you could add or you want to correct me on something or start a discussion, please do so politely in the comments section below. Thank you for listening and I will see you at some point. Goodbye.